Now, your forecast first from KARK4, your weather authority.
Lingering clouds this morning, but plentiful sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures warming up rather nicely in the 60s and 70s. High pressure bringing clear skies to much of the central United States will mean a clear and cold night tonight, and also a rather pleasant Thursday and Thursday afternoon. But we are watching a strong cold front now making its way into the northern plains. That front has Arkansas written all over it. In fact, it's going to bring the coldest air of the season so far. Freeze watches are already in effect for parts of the state. Your forecast for us for Little Rock, clear overnight tonight, 63 as the sun goes down. We're going to start your Thursday at 44. KARK4 News at 5 starts now.
Coming up, police are investigating what led to a shootout at a local gas station in broad daylight. Plus, the Red Ribbon campaign taking over central Arkansas this week, how the drug-free message is targeting a younger audience.
That's what we find. It's a real commitment on the patient's part. We tell them it's a job during the time because they're here every day, 5 days a week. They have to commit to 2 hours.
It may take some patience, but see why one diabetic credits this chamber for getting him back on his feet again.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters. This is KARK4 News at 5.
It's an important message being echoed through the hallways of Arkansas schools this Red Ribbon Week. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Ashley Katz. Bob is on assignment. Law enforcement officials say drugs are ending up in the hands of younger and younger children because education matters. KARK4's Suzanne Bruner shows us how police and investigators are now teaming up to keep schools, even elementary schools, drug-free.
Well, this is not just a high school or middle school issue anymore, Ashley. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office started seeing an increase in elementary school students with drugs just these last couple of years.
Their younger age is what people would ever think.
It's no secret drugs are prevalent in high schools across the country. The problem has trickled down to middle schools and unfortunately now seen in our elementary schools.
When you're elementary age, you don't think of a lot of stuff. And I don't think they really even realize what they're doing.
The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office says kids are getting drugs from home, friends, or people who sell them.
Prescription drugs are really kind of popular with kids nowadays. They trade them left and right.
We do find marijuana all the way, the gamut, unfortunately.
The Pulaski County Special School District promotes drug-free awareness throughout the school year, but this Red Ribbon Week,
because our theme was walking out on drugs.
A bigger emphasis to educate children about the dangers of drugs before it becomes a problem.
Red Ribbon Week getting students engaged to say no to drugs. They're blacking out drugs tomorrow by wearing all black, but today it's hats off to no drugs.
This week, students are hearing from community leaders, watching educational videos and presentations to steer clear from drugs.
And from the time that I was in school and what I was aware of, I don't ever remember a drug dog needing to be brought into my middle school. And we do that these days.
Deputies say they bring their drug dogs to school about 10 times a year. PCSSD hoping to cut that number down while applauding its partnership with parents and helping guide their children down the right path.
They're talking about it at home. Why are you wearing your shirt this way? Why are you wearing your hat this way? And so I think our parents are doing a very good job.
As the Sheriff's Office mentioned, prescription drugs are commonly seen in schools. That's why you'll see law enforcement across the state hold drug take-back events to help people get rid of them safely. Back to you.
Police are looking for a man following a shootout at a local gas station. It happened around 9:30 this morning on the 600 block of Roosevelt here in Little Rock at the Exxon I-30 Superstore. Witnesses say a man walked into that store, turned around and started shooting at a victim who was filling up his car. The victim then pulled out his own gun and returned fire. He was hospitalized with 3 gunshot wounds to the leg. Police say the shooter is a black man between 20 and 30 years old. At the time, he was wearing a dark shirt with pink on the back and black pants. If you know anything about this, call police. A second man has been arrested in connection to a homicide that happened back in February. This man, 30-year-old Nathaniel Eskridge, faces first-degree murder charges for the February 28th shooting death of 44-year-old Cedric Pennington. Eskridge is currently in the Faulkner County Jail, but Little Rock police say he will eventually be transferred to Pulaski County. Now, another man also faces murder charges connected to the case. We are your local election headquarters. Long lines have left some voters unsure whether early voting is even worth the wait. KARK's Josh Berry joins us tonight. And Josh, some election commissioners are praising the high turnout, but also voters, they're having to wait in lines just to fill out their ballot.
Yeah, that's right, Ashley. Many people get out to early vote in hopes to avoid the long lines on Election Day, but we were in Garland County, for example, today, where one voter on his way out laughed and told me it was only a 56-minute wait to vote. For some, that was too long.
It's completely packed, and so we decided that we'd go run some errands and come back.
Now, voters told us that yesterday the voting machines actually stopped working, and some people didn't get to vote when they had hoped. According to the Garland County Election Commission, the long lines could be attributed to simply not having enough equipment at just the 3 early voting locations for the 184 different voting precincts in Garland County. The commission told me, however, that they do appreciate those voters that braved the long wait.
I just want to thank the voters for getting out, coming here, and being so understanding and patient, standing in line.
Now, on Election Day, Garland County will expand those 3 early voting locations to 27. Now, of course, some of the busier hours have been through the lunch hour. Many people just haven't had that time to wait. And, of course, high early voting turnout numbers are good across the state. Now, early voting runs through the 3rd. Election Day is next Tuesday. Ashley.
And right here at KARK, we will continue our all-access look at the candidates on the campaign trail. That includes today, or concludes today, I should say, with Congressman Tom Cotton's campaign for U.S. Senate. Cotton starting the day in Garland County, speaking with supporters at a local breakfast spot in Hot Springs, just before arriving in Little Rock for a Get Out the Vote rally here with fellow Republican candidates.
So everything that you're doing to get the early vote out is great, and it's so important. And everything you're doing for us over the next 6 days now is so important. It's our adversaries calling because they don't like the number of Republicans that we have here getting people out to early vote.
And coming up tonight at 6, KARK4's David Goins has more on why Cotton feels a strong early vote total could put him over the top. And the Arkansas Senate race in one company's chart of the most competitive races in the country. Signal Labs offering factoids on the Senate race between Mark Pryor and Tom Cotton. Overall, Cotton getting more media mentions, but that attention has tended to be more negative than for Pryor. Cotton has received about 10,000 more social media mentions than Pryor, but according to that data, also it includes more negative social media mentions for Cotton. If you'd like to see all of the insights, just head to our website, arkansasmatters.com. Moderator of NBC's Meet the Press in Arkansas today, Chuck Todd, has been traveling throughout battleground states on the run-up to next week's election. KARK4's Bob Clausen caught up with him today during a stop in Crittenden County.
Ashley, Chuck Todd's Meet the Voters tour has taken him through states all across the country, battleground states in the South and in the Midwest. Today, we're here in Crawfordsville, Arkansas, about 20 miles outside of Memphis, about 2 hours outside of Little Rock. This is farming country in the Delta. He's here talking to farmers, talking about a number of issues that they're looking at come election night. One race we're all looking at, the nation is looking at here in Arkansas, Tom Cotton, Mark Pryor. Cotton wins. What does that do?
Well, I think it sends a signal to I know what Arkansas Democrats think. They think that that means the party's done. There are a lot of Arkansas Democrats that think if they go 0 for here, 0 for the 2 House races that they're seriously targeting, 2 and 4, 0 for governor, 0 for senator, then there's going to be a serious question about, is this it? Is this now Arkansas joined the ranks of Mississippi and Alabama, where the Democratic Party that was once dominant here is now totally gone. So I think that that's impact number 1. I think impact number 2 is I can't imagine. Cotton could win and Democrats could still hold the Senate. I don't think this is one of those linchpin races. Now, if Mark Pryor won, then Democrats are holding the Senate. I will tell you that. I do feel in that respect.
After Chuck Todd is done talking with farmers here, they're going to head to Louisiana. This has been a tour gaining so much information, actually trying to figure out just which way voters are going to lean because it's been so difficult to pin down any race in any particular state. We're going to have more on where he thinks the Tom Cotton-Mark Pryor race will end up coming up tonight at 6 and at 10 o'clock.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much. And remember to join us right here on Tuesday, November 4th for our full election coverage. KARK and our sister station, Fox 16, teaming up on election night to bring you the most comprehensive coverage of all the big races and issues. Our special coverage starts at 8, and then through the end of the night, we'll be bringing you all the up-to-the-minute results, analysis, also reaction from the candidates. We are now just less than a week to election night. And coming up on KARK 4 News at 5, one country music legend is making a return to Central Arkansas. We'll tell you who. And residents in an Arkansas town have a reason to celebrate today. See how they are helping out their local law enforcement.
Well, I've got some dancing to do, and I want to visit the island.
And a local hospital is making a difference in the lives of those with diabetes.
And what a difference a day makes. Tuesday's clouds and rain giving way to plenty of sunshine across the state today. Here in Little Rock, 73 and 50 are high and low for the day, just a touch above average for this time of year. One more mild day, and then the bottom falls out in temperatures. We'll let you know when the big chill is headed our way in just a couple minutes.
From the station that brings you local news that matters, this is KARK 4 News at 5 in high definition. With Bob Clausen, Ashley Katz, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan.